Then we get to those after that and after that, until you might come to a mutamakkin, a talib al-ilm, established student of knowledge, or you might come to an alim saghir, a small alim, or whatever the case. But with all of this, we believe that no individual by himself is perfect. No matter how knowledgeable he is, no individual by himself is perfect. It is possible, and there's no doubt, it's almost certain that he will make mistakes. But having said that, then that means that whatever truth is taken, it is taken from whoever comes with it. I'm talking about yesterday being Thursday. Yesterday being a year ago, 2 years, 4 for some, 5 for others, 10 for others, a decade for others, 2 decades for others. That's not much. But we have to realize this issue, and that is that this is a blessing from Allah Ta'ala to even be upon anything that is known as Kitab as-Sunnah wa as-Salaf Salih. So the masjid's role is going to be, inshallah ta'ala, one of that. And we are in need of everybody. All hands must be upon deck. Everybody who can take some time and come and benefit and help and assist and support. Someone can teach someone al-Fatiha who doesn't know al-Fatiha well. Someone can teach someone wudu who doesn't know wudu well. Someone can teach someone tayammum in cases of need for him to do that. Someone can teach someone this and someone that. This is how it is. We benefit and we benefit others. We learn and we teach others. We advise and we accept advice. Right? We forget and we have to be reminded. We remind others because they forget. And this is how a brotherhood and a sisterhood and a community works. A lot of us don't know how community works. We think community is always hair splitting and arguing and bickering. 3 of these 4 brothers against 5 or 6 of those brothers. That's not community, that's not brotherhood. And another matter is that the role of the masjid should be natural. It should be a natural part of our lives. Sometimes there's a zeal for some brothers. A thing of melon or boredom comes over them. I don't know what it is. But you can find communities that be going so well, and it's like, this is just too good to be true. Let's come up with something. Let's cause some type of excitement. This is exciting enough. Is it exciting enough to be worshiping Allah Ta'ala for Kitab wa Sunnah? I mean, this is beyond belief. This is off the wire. That in an area like this, you got adhan being called 5 times a day, and people come in the masjid and up on Sunnah, and this is Allahu Akbar. So what more excitement do you need? So if the masjid has a natural position, Allah says have a natural flow. Going to the Bayt of Allah Ta'ala, worshiping Allah Ta'ala. This is the issue. And of course there's many issues, I guess, that we can go into, and that regarding that, like I said, the shura of the masjid is such that it is a responsibility. And as we had some advices, this was something good done by the brothers here, that before they started the masjid, they asked for advices from various scholars and students of knowledge. I myself recall the Master Sheikh Hisham Arif, who is a lecturer in Masjid al-Aqsa at that time, and I translated for them on that tape. And they asked also Abdullah al-Bukhari, and they asked Ubayd al-Jabri, and they asked others and others and others about issues regarding the masjid. And this is how you should do. Al-ilm qabla qawl wal-amal. Yani, usul thalatha. Yani, Sahih Bukhari, where it comes from. Al-ilm qabla qawl wal-amal. Knowledge comes before any saying or deed. So, what should we do? And he said that the shura and those responsible must be qudwa, a good example. And they must be from the akhyar, from the best. And they must be like the first in the saf al-awwal in the masjid. They must be the ones who are the first to rush to do good. And this is something known, that the one who's going to be in a position of responsibility, he has to be the first and foremost. This is what the Prophet ﷺ was like. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wasn't sitting around with a belly full and his pain was hungry. When they pulled up their shirts and showed him stones tied to their bellies, he pulled up his shirt and showed them stones tied to his belly. I'm like you in this regard. When it came to the Khandaq and digging the Khandaq, Prophet Islam was out there with his shirt off and carrying the bricks away. And those who are going to be responsible are going to be the first. Have to be the first in the field of activity to do what it's called to do. And we must have the desire of this matter of not wanting position. Nobody should want position. And we have that type of malady, we need to deal with it. But when we are entrusted with a position, our attitude should be that this is the battlefield and the enemy won't come through this way. The enemy won't come through this way. Won't get through because I'm sleeping, or I'm negligent, or I'm not on my job. You can rest assured, you can sleep easy, you can feel at ease. I got this. This is how the motive should be. That if I'm going to do something, like the Prophet said in the authentic hadith, if you're going to do something, do it well. Right? So if you slaughter, make sure that your sword or your knife is sharp to show mercy to the animal that you're slaughtering. That's the hadith. But the ihsan, to do well, is what we want to take from that narration. To do well, if you're entrusted with something, do it well. If you're going to call adhan, with all the rewards that adhan has, of the fact of the believer's neck being, the mu'adhin's neck being very, very long. And it said that one of the many reasons of that is the fact that when everybody sweats on the day of judgment, because as you know, the sun will come near. And it will come near as close as a mil, as they say. And mil can mean the mile, as we know, or it can mean that which is the instrument for putting kohl in your eyes. That's how close the sun would be. And that the people will sweat to their ankles, and to their knees, and to the half of their bodies, until their mouths are shut due to sweat. Mu'adhan won't suffer any of that because his neck is very long. So if we know the fada'il or the virtues of calling adhan and the authentic narrations regarding calling adhan, then if we are entrusted to call adhan, then we have to call it up on time, and we have to call it in the proper way, and so on and so forth. And this is for anybody, whatever responsibility we take. If you take the position of treasure, then what the Muslims have, you don't let 1 cent be spent. You don't let 1 cent be spent, because it's not your money. And because Allah Ta'ala is going to call you to account for what you do with it, you make sure that every cent is placed in the proper place. And if you got some other compassion, whatever you're doing for the masjid or for the Muslims, that you do it well. You do it well. This is something very, very important and something that must be understood. Also, the masjid was the place, as we can see now, where we teach our children, where we instruct our children. Besides the madrasa, they will learn certain things at the madrasa and certain things they will learn in the masjid. Certain things they can't learn in the madrasa, but they can in fact learn in the masjid. And this is also its role. It has many roles, and it has many benefits, and it has a message to deliver to the whole world in general, and to the believers in particular. And many of the masajid don't fulfill the role they're supposed to fulfill. We have, inshallah, to do also Friday lectures such as this, and we have said that we would do it based upon suggestions from people, based upon illnesses or maladies or problems that are in the community that need to be addressed, likay nu'allij, so that we find a remedy for those particular maladies. And a brother will say, well, we got too much envy amongst us, so give us a lecture on envy. Friday night lecture on envy. Well, we got too much, khiyana, deceit amongst us. Give us a lecture on khiyana. Friday lecture on khiyana. And like this. So that everyone, inshallah ta'ala, besides the other lectures that we will be having, everyone will benefit bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But I say it again, it calls upon all hands to be upon deck. Everyone who considers himself a soldier of the soldiers of Allah ta'ala, to be in the unit, on time, in this masjid. And Another factor is connecting ourselves, I said, with the kibar and the ulama in general, and that is through maybe translations and making available things that some brothers probably read and other brothers probably don't read. Sometimes some brothers might get this or that from the internet, other brothers aren't exposed to any of that. The knowledge itself has to be such that it's commonly to everybody. Everybody has this knowledge. Not the same level of knowledge, but the knowledge of Kitab wa Sunnah and where it's outside. This is how it was in the time of the Prophet and the companions. Example is the slave girl. Sheikh Nasir used to use the example often. The slave girl. When that Sahabi, Muawiyah, beat his slave girl, and he came to the Prophet ﷺ, wanted to make tawbah for whatever. Prophet ﷺ said, well, what do you want to do? You want to free her? He said, bring her here. What did he do? He asked her, where is Allah? She pointed up. And if it's Sama, Allah is above. Alright? Who am I? You Rasulullah. You're the messenger of Allah. He said, free her, she's a believer. A slave girl. Out in the desert. Away from the community, not attending the circles of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not attending the lessons of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yet she knew this aqeedah. She knew this aqeedah. So this is an issue that is important, and we must make sure that just like that slave girl knew it, that all of us should also know it. All of us should also know it and make sure others know it. This is some of what I wanted to say. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد.